If you're an author and you happen to have small children in your world and you were gifting them something for Christmas, their birthday, another holiday, or just because you're a cool auntie, I have the ultimate present for them. This is what I'm doing for my nieces for Christmas and for their upcoming birthdays. Now, before you jump in and do this, please be advised they do have to have a specific device. So if you are not the parent, you need to check in with the parents to make sure they have a Tony box. A Tony is going to be a little figurine that they put on top of a giant box, and that figurine is going to have magnets in it. It's going to attach to the box, and it's going to start playing songs and stories from different things. For example, they have a lot of Disney ones. So if they have one from Frozen, if they've got Elsa or Anna or Olaf, they're going to be able to put the Olaf on the box, and then Olaf will tell them stories, sing songs, things like that. So parents are collecting these for their kids to learn different stories. And a lot of them are going to be like Disney characters, but they also have a bunch of other kinds as well. And I recently learned they have what they call creative Tonys. These are going to be recordable devices so that I can get these, record up to 90 minutes on it, and give it to my nieces for their holidays. So I'm going to use this in two different ways. You can do this in one of two different ways, or you can get creative as well. So I'm going to take one of these, and it's going to be for family history and family lore. These are stories that like real life happened to me when I was little. They're stories about the horse I used to train, or my puppy dogs from now or from when I grew up. They're going to be stories about their grandpa who died before he met one of them, and one of them was just a teeny tiny baby. So I'm going through family history, family lore, stories that are going to be really fun for the kids to get to know people that they didn't know, to get to know us more, and to get to hear some really fun stories that make them giggle. So they record up to 90 minutes of content, and then I can just take those voice memos that I'm recording right on my phone and put them onto this device through the app, and then when I give it to them, they're just going to be able to take it, set it down on their Tony, and it will go through me telling them stories. I am not doing this alone. I'm also bringing in some other relatives for it, so it's a bunch of us telling the family lore stories. And that's going to be one that I am doing for them. Now, the other one I'm going to be doing for them, I'm really extra excited about because my nieces are always asking me to tell them stories. They love the family history and lore stories, but they also like when I make things up for them. And I will often allow them to like pick a character. Half the time it's a unicorn. And I will create a story on the spot as we're driving in the car or as we are hanging out in their living room. I am creating a full storyline for my niece for her birthday. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I may end up doing something with it one day. I don't write kids' books now, but boy, can I tell a kid's story. So I actually have a character in mind, and I've got this world created around them. I'm just going to create little stories. These are going to be like 2 to 3 minute stories, just like if they were flipping through some kind of picture book. So they're going to get a story about this character, and then another story about this character, and then another story about this character. I'm going to put them all on this cute little monster device. How adorable is that? And then for her birthday, I'm going to give her this one. So she's going to have one that is real life stories. She's going to have one that is made up stories. And then I can add things on as I go. And as a storyteller, obviously, that is my forte. So it's going to be really easy for me to be able to tell stories from our family past, our history, what's going on, things that are going to allow the girls a little more insight into who they are and where they came from, as well as those imaginative stories, the creative ones we're going to make up as we go, so that when they're asking me for fun stories, I can lean back into these characters I'm creating for them, and I can always update it. So even if I start out with like 10 2-minute stories, that's 20 minutes of content. Then they can cycle through those. And then a couple months from now, I can record a couple more. I can add more onto it so that it's a growing, expansive library of these really fun stories that I'm telling. So if you're a writer, go ahead and grab some of those creative Tonys. If the kids in your life have the Tony box, they do have to have it. These will not work independent of it. So if you are parents, you can grab one. I know kids love them. They're fantastic. They're a little expensive. They do really well on sale during the holiday season, so pay attention to like Black Friday stuff. And then get them some of these and record your own things. If you are auntie, if you are friend, if you are whoever, just double check with our parents, make sure they have it first. And if you don't have these that you can do for your nieces, nephews, kids, friends, whoever, come up with other ways. Actually record those voice memos and just send the voice memos to mom and dad's phone so they can listen on the phone. There's free ways to do this, but this one is just kind of a really fun, easy way you can get creative. And there's there's some of these creative ones that you can be getting. So you have, a handful of different characters you can pick from. There's like mermaids. There's a Yeti monster that I wanted. I will say I was going to get the little Yeti monster instead of this guy, but these were on sale at Target. It was like buy one, get one half off, which made them cheaper than anywhere else. So I grabbed them while they were on sale that one day instead of getting them on Amazon like I had planned. But if you pay attention, you can get these fairly cheap. These were I think they were like under $10 to grab these, maybe. Now I'm not certain. They're cheap enough. Like if you're getting a gift for people, this is a really good, really thoughtful, really creative one that they're going to love, but it doesn't cost you a ton of money to do. And then it just takes a little bit of your time to create those stories. I'm not even remastering anything. I literally just recorded it on my phone as a voice memo. I'm going to send it over to the app and be done with it. It's going to be very easy, very simplistic. And then I can grow and expand it from there. And potentially I can be sneaking more stories on. So as my nieces are going through it, all of a sudden there may be a new story or two that they have to go finding on these toys as they're listening, as they're playing, as they're doing things. So there's a lot of ways to use this. Highly recommend it. And it really leans into our author lives. It's a very thoughtful, very personalized gift that we can give the kids in our lives. Do drop your questions on this down below. I'm going to go ahead and link some of these things in the caption for you if you guys want to be checking these out. Again, Black Friday deals are elite, but if you waited too long, you can still grab some of those, or you can pay attention to the sales throughout the year. But relatively, it's the box is kind of on a little more expensive side, but the toys themselves, not that expensive, especially if you're doing the recordable ones. So drop your questions, follow along. I might give you a little update on how my nieces liked them over on my Instagram stories, and we'll see you in the upcoming episodes.